Welcome to Brawl Till We Fall. This is your boy Teo, and I'd like to welcome you to another edition of Brawl Till We Fall WWE. We're about to talk about it this week's different activities and episodes and just recap what's going on in WWE this week. We're going to start off with Raw. Raw kicks off this week with the champ Liv Morgan in the ring segment where she brags about putting down Becky Lynch and putting her into early retirement as she thinks, um, and putting Rhea Ripley on the shelf. Um, then she says the highlight of her life was kissing Dom. Really? That's the highlight of your life? Kissing Dominic Mysterio? Really? Anyway, Dom comes out and interrupts, um, but he can't get a word in because, as we know, the audience boos the hell out of Dom. And I don't blame him. I don't like the brother. I don't like him. Anyway, um, and as he's trying to get his point across, um, he does make get some words out and says that mommy's coming to kill her. Um, but I think mommy's coming back to kill him because of what else happened, where she seduces Dom and claims that Dom wants her. And as she rubs his hair, you can see the smirk on his face. So Dom is feeling some kind of way. But to no avail, Finn Balor came to save him. As you know, in the past, my man Finn Balor and Liv Morgan have some history. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I think maybe Finn is setting Dom up. I don't know. Either way, this drama continues, and we will stay tuned to see what's gonna happen. But I think eventually Dom may give in to temptation. Anyway, we got Sheamus backstage segment where he gets a chance to rain down on the Burt looking Ken doll Ludwig Kaiser, um, which leads to the next match, which is Sheamus versus Ludwig Kaiser. I'm gonna say this, Sheamus was hurt because of Ludwig Kaiser, and he wasn't 100%. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I like the fact that he came out to defend his image because Ludwig for the past couple of weeks, and I've been saying it. Ludwig Kaiser, watch yourself. Sheamus is coming to get you. But Ludwig Kaiser, who does the sneak attack thing, um, actually got the best of Sheamus, and I have to backtrack a little bit and give Ludwig Kaiser a bit of credit. I don't like his character. I don't know him to not like him personally, but I don't like his character. But I have to respect the fight in this dude. And if you make me hate you as a character, then you've done your job very well done. So I have to give him the claps for that. So Kaiser, with that being said, Kaiser does pick up the win against Sheamus. Not what I wanted to happen, but to no avail. Sheamus wasn't 100%. But when he gets 100%, Kaiser, watch yourself. Next up, Judgment Day backstage segment. Damian thinks all scores will be settled at Judgment Day, and Judgment Day will rise to the top tonight. So wrong, very wrong was my man, Damian Priest. I really like the enthusiasm, but if you're the only one holding the ball and running with it and putting it in the basket, sometimes you tire out and the rest of your team lets you down. Anyway, let's get into it. So Finn Balor, Judgment Day versus Dragon Lee of the LWO. This was a fast-paced match. Dragon Lee is a high flyer. That's what we know him to be. Finn Balor was also trying. He was a high flyer in a sense, but he was trying to slow him down because he's more technical than anything. And JD distractions helped a little. However, Carlito helped a lot and pretty much helped Finn Balor get the win. Um, but As they're about to jump Dragon League, Braun Strowman and Rey Mysterio come to the rescue. My problem with this is that they act like the police. They came after a crime was committed. Where is the rest of LWO? Why not they be there to support Dragon League? I've said this many times. This man finally becomes a member of the LWO and he still can't get the support that he needs. But to no avail, even Mysterio ain't get the support. So what kind of crew you really got? What kind of stable you really got there, Rey Mysterio? Well, y'all not coming out to support each other during your matches against people that you know. And with an added effect of Carlito, know they're going to cheat. Know that they're going to do whatever they can to win against you. Know that they are against you, and it's more of them than just one. Why do y'all always go out there single handedly, and then you get the loss, and then boom? Why? Anyway, moving on. Backstage comedy. Judgment Day tells Carlito to challenge Braun Strowman and take him out. Listen to me. Carlito, you're good. Great. But Braun Strowman is a giant. You're not going to take him out. And I don't care how many apples you eat. I don't even care if you throw apples at him. You're not going to win. Anyway, The Miz and R-Truth come in. And again, R-Truth says things that make no sense. So, I'm not even going to go into that segment. He's just funny. Comedy. That's why I call it the comedy segment. Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn in-ring segment calling out Chad Gable once again. But instead, the Alpha Academy come to the ring. Like I said last week, when they jumped you, you should just leave this alone. Get your revenge on Chad Gable. Hey, I get it. But the rest of the Alpha Academy, let them be on their own. And again, Sammy trying to save people that have battered Chad syndrome. That's what I call it. And as I figured, Chad jumps him from behind, and Alpha Academy do nothing but watch. But at least Sammy gets his revenge at Clash at the Castle, when he beats him for the belt, which I'm hoping that it happens. My brother Dre is not with it, but I am. Right now, I would choose Sammy over Chad any day right now. However, I give him the same compliment that I gave Ludwig Kaiser. If you make me hate you, you're doing your job. Now, just as you thought Otis had grown, just when you thought Otis had grown a pair, because your boy Chad went after his girl. But again, Chad manipulates Otis. Sammy gets dropped for his trouble of trying to defend Otis. Same segment from last week, just different way. Anyway, moving on. Backstage segment, Braun Breaker vows to teach Adam Pearce and Ricochet some respect. And I agree. Because Braun Breaker is no one to be played with. And Ricochet, just like Sheamus, is not 100%. Why y'all keep going in there with injuries against people that you know can break you in half and force more injury on you? Why? Why do it to yourself, bro? Why? Anyway, Braun Breaker versus a very hurt Ricochet. And here's the thing. 2 weeks, Braun Breaker has speared and broken Ricochet in half. He speared both Ricochet and Dragunov last week. And he interrupted their match. But now Ricochet learning you have to be at 100% to beat a guy like this. I will say this. Even with injuries, Ricochet gave Braun a good fight. He did give him a good fight. But to no avail, Braun hits him with a Frankensteiner and speared him out of his boots to win. And after the match, he attempted to put Ricochet out for good until his real competition came. And that's Ilya Dragunov. And I can't wait for this match. Because if there's anybody that's going to give Braun Breaker the challenge that he's looking for, Ilya's going to do it. So I can't wait for that. Natalya versus Kiana James. I really hate that they are using such a great talent like Natalya to break in new stars, but I understand. I do understand. Because she should be up there with Becky and Liv and the rest of them. She's a top star. And um, Kiana James got the win. Um, but it looks like Natalya is fed up just as I am. And she said there's some changes that's about to come. And we'll see that on NXT, which is coming up next. I'm going to talk about it. Braun Strowman versus Carlito. I told you. I told you. This was a comedy of a match. There was no way Carlito was going to beat dude. But, and he didn't. And all of Judgment Day, including Dom, beat the hell out of Braun Strowman, and Liv Morgan saved Dom from a murderous Braun, and then Finn saved Dom from Liv. The drama. That's all I gotta call this. This is more drama than soap operas. Anywho, the champs are here. Trouble. That's what I call them. If you don't know who Trouble is, that's Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. All right. Now, they don't have an official name. I just give them that name, Trouble. Now, Trouble versus the loud and cocky Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks. I'll be honest with you. This match, which was impromptu, it was an impromptu match. But I'm gonna hold my position on that right now. Because no, you know what? Let's just talk about it. Okay, so Bianca and Jade, they were about to win this match. And I don't think Shayna Baszler and Zoe Starks was prepared for them. They just thought that they can just run over them like they do anybody else. But this right here is a super power team. And out comes Alba Fire and Ilya and Ila, and they beat down the champs. And this was a 4-on-2 assault. I didn't like how this went down, honestly. And this is where I, personally, if I had a chance to write for WWE, I would create one of the baddest stables ever in history of the black woman that you have there. It would be Bianca, Jade, Lash Legend, and Jada Parker. That right there, four group, will what? That would be it. That would be it. So, at the end of the day, I think they need to reunite and create this group and the stable that they would have to protect from these. I don't even know where Alba Fire and her peoples come from. Why? Where they come from? They trying to earn the respect. But this 4-on-2 beatdown was ridiculous. It was just ridiculous. But besides the fact that Bayley may not want to be near any faction since he imploded, I think that it would be great for Lash Legend and Jada Parker to come over there and be a part of that group. Moving on. Next, Jey Uso in the audience segment, giving thanks for the solo career. Yeet proclaims that to be the next Money in the Bank winner. So he's already proclaiming his entry into the Money in the Bank. Lyra Valkyria is backstage and she's proclaiming her entrance into the Money in the Bank. And then she gets attacked by an unhinged Io Sky. And I talked about this last week. Io Sky is out of control. So is the whole Damage Control. They're just out of control. And they don't have no leadership. I said this before, that it was going to implode because there's no leadership. Bayley was the leader, and there's no more Bayley. There's nobody to control them. There's not even about control, but just talk them down from the craziness. But Lyra Valkyria, you wanted this. You over here to the main event, the mainstream. You here on the main show, Raw. So suck it up and hopefully you come back bigger and stronger and one on one, no surprise attacks against Io Sky and beat her down again because you did already. Next, the beatdown. I saw the backstage segment where the New Day proclaimed, I've beaten some of the biggest and baddest teams in the past. But what Kofi and Woods forget, okay, the New Day proclaimed that they have beaten some of the biggest and baddest teams in the past. They forget they didn't do that alone. Y'all two scrawny little dudes didn't do it alone. Y'all had Big E. It was three of y'all, not two, three. So yeah, y'all beaten because y'all could change out. You go and you two, and then you two, or whatever. You had that Braun Big E. Y'all can't go proclaiming to do the same thing you did when it was a three-man team, and now it's only two of y'all, and y'all don't weigh as much as your opponents. The Authors of Pain is almost 600 pounds together. Let alone, as I've been talking about throughout this program, they have a entourage of people. They have a clique. And one of those members is trying his damnedest, and I don't know why, to recruit one of you and separate, which will make it only one New Day member. So, at the end of the day, Biggie, come for your boys, because this is about to be an implosion. Um, and like I said, the odds are stacked against them. And this was the fastest loss for the New Day ever. Yeah, they lost that, of course. Ain't no way they was going to win against these dudes. Anyway, the main event, Rey Mysterio LWO versus Damian Priest. Again, nobody representing the LWO but Rey Mysterio by himself. And Rey put up a hell of a fight. And he had it not been for the interference of the Judgment Day, he might have got the win. However, even though Damian won the match, if he fight like that against Drew McIntyre at the Clash of the Castle, because hey, Rey Mysterio put up a hell of a fight, but it shouldn't have took Damian that long to beat him. And taking nothing from Rey, Rey is a damn good fighter, and he's a veteran at this. Hell, he's a Hall of Famer. But at the end of the day, the bigger man, Damian Priest, who is the champion, should have handled that a little bit easier. Not faster, easier. But anywho, I get the feeling, I'm going to make my prediction early. Drew McIntyre going to get his belt back at Clash of the Castle. Now, I've been on the other show. Okay. Wrestling World. I've told you about it. It's a podcast over there on the other side in Apple. If you go to the clubhouse, pick it up, check it out. My boy Meek over there does his thing. One of his boys said something that I didn't realize until now. When a superstar goes to their hometown or country and they're in a fight, usually those are the ones that win, the ones that's in their hometown. Now, we will see at Clash of the Castle, is this truth or false? But I believe it to be true, and McIntyre will get his belt back because I don't think Damian Priest was even supposed to be champion as long as he is. And I don't know. I just think that Drew is going to get that belt back. People would want to see Drew McIntyre versus, his biggest rivalry. However, I will say this. Now, what if CM Punk shows up there and cause him to lose again? That's a possibility. But people want to see that. They want to see Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. They don't want to see CM Punk versus Damian Priest. Damian Priest about to have his hands full anyway. I still see that this whole claiming that Raw is yours is not going to go well with the authors of pain and that group of people. Um, the final testament is going to eventually stake their claim on Raw, and you guys can't even keep Dom from kissing Liv Morgan. How are you going to keep them from whipping your ass? Anyway, moving on, I'm going to say good luck to everybody over there in Raw because I think that the final testament is about to take over. That's my predictions of Raw. That's all I got for Raw. And we're going to move on to NXT. So stay tuned after these messages. And we're going to get right into NXT. Welcome back. We're going to talk about NXT. That's right, NXT. It's the NXT before their big pay-per-view this Sunday, Battleground in Las Vegas. Um, I'm going to be doing a special show that will be airing before Battleground with my brother Dre, which will be right here live in the studio. He will be here live, coming straight out of NYC. And I also have some volunteer brothers that always come on my show, and that's my boy Sal. He always come on Sal Showtime, and me. They gonna be here as well, possibly. See how I'm gonna work that out because I got in studio and they not in the studio. So we're gonna see how we work that out. But if we can, we'll all be here giving our predictions on what's gonna happen at NXT Battleground. So let's get into NXT. NXT kicks off with the TNA Knockout Champ Jordan Grace, which I can't believe that TNA is over in WWE. She's versus Stevie Turner, and Roxanne Perez comes out for commentary. Jordan Grace took out Stevie Turner with no sweat. Booker T couldn't even say what he was going to say about anything just to big up because his star is Roxanne Perez. So he couldn't say nothing. He didn't even get a chance to really say anything because Jordan Grace is going to kill that girl. I hate to say it, Booker, but your girl ain't no match for no Jordan Grace. Look at the arms on her. Are you kidding me? She could put her in a sleeper hole with her pinky. Anyway, I think Roxanne going to have to cheat to win that match. I'm just going to be real with you. Not that she's against it, because I've seen her do some things, but let's see. Meanwhile, the Trick and Lash session. Lash Legend breaks it off with Trick Williams. Now, if I have to stay in character, I'm going to say it like this, because rumor has it is only for the television. They don't want to put or continue to have this segment putting their personal relationship on WWE and NXT. I can respect that. In fact, I'm all for it. In fact, I'll give you the claps on that. However, if it is not what rumors I've heard, and Lash actually did break it off with Trick, it's not understandable. You tell him that you're breaking it off because you have to concentrate on getting that belt. And I get that. But I don't get it. Because on the flip side of that, Trick got his belt and he embraced you. He didn't break it off with you. He could have. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of women backstage, and one particular, Sexy Red, that already put her stamp on your boy and says she's going to be there for him. So you're now opening up the door for other women to take the place, because when a man becomes successful, the one thing he needs that success can't bring him is a good woman by his side to cheer him on, to encourage him, to keep him going in that success, to motivate him, to love him and show him love and say, look, you did this for us and we're going to make it happen, because teamwork makes the dream work. I digress. Moving on, Booker T in ring segment with all the ladies that's participating in the NXT Women's North American Championship ladder match battleground. Now you already knew this was going to be a drama. This was going to be some drama. And it led to a brawl, which led to a 6-man women tag match, which I'm going to talk about later on when it comes up. But moving on, Thea Hale, who I don't like, Chase U, with Ridge Holland in her corner versus Jasmine Nix. Now she told the rest of Chase U to stay in the back, and they said they want to stay in the back. But they came out anyway, but they were away from the ring. They didn't do nothing to distract Thea Hale. But she lost. She lost anyway. And ain't nobody to blame but herself. Ain't nobody did nothing but you. You lost. So that means that you're not as good as you think you are. Anyway, next up, it was supposed to be a Josh Bridges versus Shawn Spears match. But Shawn Spears, as we know him, always hits somebody from behind. I'm starting to think he's a sucker. But anyway, that's in my opinion. But the young OG put in that work on Shawn Spears. And that's my boy Evans. He came out to the rescue, and took it to my man. He took it to Shawn Spears. Which led to this, which is going to lead up to a whole nother fight that's coming soon. All right, no quarter catch crew. Damon Kemp steps up to the plate to represent the no quarter catch crew and get back their Heritage Cup. And he fought a good fight against Tony D'Angelo. But I tell you, like I told you, when he first went in there to fight for this cup, Tony D'Angelo got skills I didn't even know he had. This man got some ring mat skills. The first round he won. And I give it to listen, no quarter catch crew ain't no joke. Tony D'Angelo put them boys to the test. And he, at the end of it all, still is the Heritage Cup champion. Shayna Baszler versus Lola Vice, that hype promo. I think Shayna is overrated. I'm just gonna be there with you. I'm not saying that because Lola is, Latino like me, and she's got a sexy little dance. That's not why I'm saying it. I'm saying it because I think Lola got some lethal weapons that Shayna ain't ready for. So when they face that battleground in their underground match, I'm expecting Lola to win. Izzy Dame versus Natalia with Petrovich in her corner. And this is where I was telling you on Raw segment. Natalia said there's going to be change, and she got the win over Izzy Dame. And she's letting them know, look, if I'm going to put you over, that means that you did something special to beat me, the veteran, to put you over. And Izzy Dame ain't did nothing special, and she got exactly what she wanted, what she asked for, and Natalia got that win. Tyson DuPont and Tariq Igwe never got to fight. Gallus came out and gave them a beatdown. And then there was the Gallus in-ring segment. These dudes are claiming that they're looking for respect, but you're not going to get no respect just beating people down. But I'm going to say this. I know they're trying to make a name for themselves, and there is strength in numbers. Not going to knock that. We've seen it in the past and we see it now. And Oba came out and you already knew what was going to happen. And Wesley came to his defense. But like I said before, Wesley shouldn't even be in the match. He's too small. Obafemi can handle his own. Strong, big man. And I'm pretty sure it took, and I'm pretty sure that these guys see that, which is why they made their point to attack him now, to weaken him up before this Sunday's pay per view. But you have to understand something. Obafemi is an African man. You can beat us down, but we're going to get back up. And oh, hell going to break loose. Now, you guys going to be outside. If you interfere in that match, because this was just the in-ring segment, but you interfere in the match, it's going to be a disqualification. Your boy loses. And if there's no disqualification, that just gives Obafemi more power to destroy all of you for this beatdown. But, just like I said prior, my girl's trouble. And I want them to form an allegiance with other sisters from other organizations like NXT and bring it in. I think Oba, even though you are a powerful man, and you can really stand on your own when it comes to one-on-one, and you've proven even 2-on-1. But 3-on-1, you need backup, bro. You need to call in an enforcer somewhere, brothers somewhere. But yeah, you need somebody watching your back. Wesley ain't gonna do it. He too little. You don't even give him respect, so nobody else going to. So I want to see what's gonna happen this weekend. I hope, and I remember just run it back, because I was saying that Oba was 100% gonna win this, but he's not gonna be at 100% after this beatdown, because Gallus put a beating on the boy. But I still stand my ground and say that Oba is going to win and retain his belt. Moving on to the highlight of the night. Well, one of the highlights of the night. Highlight 1. 6 women tag. Now, I thought I would see Lash and my girl Jada Park on the same team, but to no avail, they moved them. So you got Lash Legend, Kalani Jordan, and Fallon Henley versus Mitchin, Jada Parker, and Sol Ruka. And I'm going to be honest with you. I loved every minute of this match. Not just because of the sportswomanship, not because of the chaos. Just seeing both my girls in this match. The real sexy red bone, Miss Parker and Lash Legend. Anyway, if these two ladies became a tag team in NXT, they would be just as dominant as Bianca and Jade. And if they joined them in a stable, this would be what? Damage Control who? This is the real Damage Control, because they all came together. That would be it. But it would just be a wrap for the whole women's division. And I'm upset how this match ended with Sol Ruka dropping Lash for the win. With all that saying that I just said, Lash gets dropped by somebody like Sol Ruka. Not somebody. She's a good talent, but Lash should have dominated that. And I think maybe she's distracted with what's going on with her and Trick. I don't know. But she shouldn't have got dropped like that. Anyway, moving on. If she do that this Sunday, she damn sure ain't going to get the belt. But I hope one of my girls get it. If not her, Jada, climb up there and get that belt. Contract signing. This dude is playing games. Ethan Page is playing games. And he was in the ring with Ava. And he's spitting his facts. And Trick Williams comes to the ring and tells Ava that she should give Ethan what he wants. I don't think that's wise, dear Trick. First and foremost, let me say something. Trick, I am a fan of yours. I believe that against anybody else on this NXT roster except Obafemi, you could dominate. Even if it was a 3-on-1 match um, against these guys that are coming in there and trying to make things happen for your boy Obafemi. If they came to you, I wouldn't have. There wouldn't be no doubt in my mind that you could take them out. I think you could take out Gallus. If you join forces with Obafemi, you could take out Gallus. But I don't think that you have enough in your arsenal to take out Ethan Page. That's just my opinion. Prove me wrong this Sunday. Prove me wrong that you are prepared for an Ethan Page. Because at the end of the day, this dude has wrestled in many different organizations and he is the top of the game. If you take out Ethan Page and retain your title, you will have my stamp of approval that you are the great champ that you are, that I think you are. But anyway, honestly, like I said, if I had to put money on it, I think Ethan Page gonna get that belt. So there was other things I was gonna say, but that's all I got. Ethan eventually did sign the contract, so he is ready. He will be facing Trick Williams. He's coming right in and going against the champion. He's getting the championship belt match, his first signing. That should tell you something right there. This dude is going to get that belt. Now, if I'm wrong, I will come back next week and say I was wrong. Trick, I apologize. I didn't have faith in you. But I'm very rarely wrong about these things. So let's see what happens. That's all I got for NXT. Again, me and my brother will be posting up a new show, a special show, just for NXT's takeover, with our predictions on it, and talk about some other things that's about to happen. Because I'm about to do some new things here on Brawl Till We Fall. So stay tuned for SmackDown. I got that coverage coming up next, and it'll be right after these messages. Hey there, wrestling fans. This is your boy Teo, the host of Brawl Till We Fall. And I want you to check out my show every Sunday. We have 2 shows. That's right, we have 2 shows on Sunday night. The 2 shows we have is the highlight show, which is at 6:30 p.m. on Sundays. And then we have our premiere show at 8:30 p.m. on Sundays. So check us out. We also have our Thursday night Let's Talk About It show featuring my brothers, and hopefully sometime in the future we can have some wrestling stars or somebody to come out and talk about the pay-per-views that's coming up on that weekend. So every Thursday, right before the pay-per-views, we have our Let's Talk About It show. So check us out. Right there's the info. You can go to YouTube to check us out on YouTube, and soon we'll have other platforms. But until then, right now, check us out every Sunday. We have our show. Peace out. All right, we're back with SmackDown, and I'm gonna talk about what happened on SmackDown this week. The show starts off with WWE Champion Cody Rhodes angrily pacing back and forth in the parking lot, and Rhodes is waiting for AJ Styles to arrive to the arena. The American Nightmare is angry, as one of my brothers, I should say, pointed out. He's more angry at AJ Styles than he was at The Rock when The Rock faced him. I don't know, but anyway, we get to the in-ring segment of the Bloodline, where they're about to, or it's supposed to be, putting Tonga Loa into actually inducting him actually into the bloodline as a full member. So they're in the ring, and Heyman is the wise man, I should say, of the bloodline. That he's talking to them, trying to convince them of some sense on what they should be doing and what they should not be doing. The crowd is chanting that they want Roman, and as it is going on, they get interrupted, of course, by Kevin Owens. And Kevin Owens, prior to Kevin Owens come out, the wise man did say that Kevin Owens was looking for the bloodline, but I guess they didn't take it seriously. But it's three of them, is one of him, as so they thought. So Kevin Owens comes out, um, and he's going at it, and they beating the hell out of him, and the Street Profits come and make the save, which leads up to a six-man tag team for later on tonight. Um, Moving on, we're going to get into the ring. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Um, Again, my girls are put on the spot. Now, I know they're tough. I know they're rough. I know that it's hard for these other tag teams to beat them and defeat them. So I know what it's all about. But to continuously try to jump them and then, have the issues that you have, which you did have issues in the end. And what I'm talking about is outside of the ring was Alba Fire and Alia Dawn. And Zoe Starks and Shayna Baszler was on the other side. And at the end of the match, after their win, they try to celebrate, and all these tag teams jumped on them. Again, same thing that happened on Raw happened again on SmackDown. But to no avail, these teams they went against each other this time. They turned on each other. And Bianca and Jade got the last laugh by beating the hell out of them, throwing them out the ring. And I'm going to just tell you right now, it's set up for Jade and Bianca went and spoke to the general manager and got themselves a triple threat tag team match. So, at the end of the day, this will show more dominance because I don't think either one of those teams can beat Jade and Bianca. I really don't. I don't think that's going to happen. So, at the end of the day, we're going to see how that pans out, I should say. In the parking lot, Rose is still pacing. SmackDown General Manager Nick Aldis walks up and tells Rose he can't fight in the parking lot. Someone could get hurt, and someone will get hurt, and it won't be Rose. That's what his response was. So he's out there still waiting on AJ Styles. Backstage, Apollo Crews. He's scheduled to go up against Legado Fantasma after what happened last week, which I told you it was going to be consequences. But to no avail, Legado Fantasma attacks Apollo Crews, and after their attack, out comes this what I call shenanigans segment. Carmelo Hayes, LA Knight. LA Knight is there looking for Logan Paul. And he's back there talking about he's going to go to his house and this, that, and the other. And out comes Carmelo Hayes, who comes up to him and starts talking crap. And guess what? Nick Aldis says, I'm sure to match anyway. So you guys will have a match later on tonight. And we're going to see if my boy puts his money where his mouth is. All right. Johnny Gargano with Tommaso Ciampa versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. No, that's not even what happened. Johnny Gargano with Tommaso Ciampa versus Grayson Waller with Austin Theory in his corner, which I didn't think was going to happen because Austin Theory and him had some beef last week because Grayson was bragging that he is the reason that Austin is who he is, trying to take credit for his success. So, After a bit of back and forth, Gargano hits the sliced bread on the floor but lands awkwardly in shoulder after the break. So Gargano was hurt. So not that is an excuse, but Grayson Waller did get the win. But he did pull his partner, Austin Theory, in front of Johnny Gargano to take the blow for him. I don't think that's going to sit right. And honestly, I don't care because I really don't like this tag team. I think that individually, they do great. They don't need to be a tag team. I think that SmackDown is dropping the ball on this one. Individually, these two guys don't need to be a tag team. So if they're imploding, let them implode. I don't. I like them as a singles team. All right. So Grayson Waller celebrates his win, and Theory is licking his wounds on the floor. I see, like I said, that is coming to an end. AJ Styles arrives and finally taunts Rhodes behind security, of course. Rolls up in his truck. But he's not alone. He's with OC. And frustrates Rhodes. So Rhodes goes to the ring with a microphone and calls him out. And AJ Styles basically gets what he wants. And I told y'all last week, he just didn't want to get to the back of the line. That ain't got no. He doesn't. That's what it all about. Is all about. He didn't want to get to the back of the line, so he felt by attacking Cody was going to put him in the front of the line. Well, he got just what his hand called for. Yes, Cody did accept his challenge. Yes, he will face Cody at Clash at the Castle. But Cody made it an I Quit match. Yes. So he's going to make him tap out. Like I said, he's more angry at him than he was at The Rock. Oh yeah, AJ Styles, you got some arsenal in your tank. Trust me, this is the best match for Cody, but he beat you the last time. You're going to have to come real hard this time, and you might need all of OC with you. But that's what's going to happen there. So he outsmarted AJ to a certain extent. Pissed off AJ too. Came to some blows outside, but didn't lead to nothing because they had all the security in the world for him. LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes. And LA Knight gets the win. No need to even go through it. He shut Carmelo Hayes' mouth. Bottom line, he shut his mouth. Now he can go somewhere and sit down. Tiffany Stratton is pitching up to tag or team up with Nia Jax. Nia didn't, respond to that. But guess who did respond? Michin. Michin, again, is poking the bear. Now, I don't know what's going to happen over in NXT. She does have the ladder match, and maybe she'll get that North American Championship and bring it over to SmackDown and show Nia Jax just how great she is. I don't know. Or maybe Nia Jax will take that belt from her just as quick as she got it. But Mitchin, you keep poking the bear, you're going to see what happened. You and the whole OC and AJ Styles are going into the dark side. There's no return from that. Meanwhile, in-ring segment, WWE Women's Champion Bayley is in the ring. She gets interrupted by Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Now she's telling Piper Niven, that she was a fan and she admires her. But Niven, for the first time, I've never really heard her speak much. But she put it all out there, let her know, you know nothing about me. What I've been through, and she was wrestling before she was. And she's finally made it. This leads me to believe that possibly, just possibly, Piper Niven might get that belt. She might beat. Well, then again, I don't know. People say it, and I say it too. Bayley just got it. But the rumor has it, or I should say statistics has it, that when a wrestler fights in their hometown, they usually get the win. I said that before, and let's see what happens, because that's now two people that are fighting in their hometown that just might get their shot, their title shot. So, I don't know. Let's see what happens, because you got to look at how this may pan out. What if she does get the belt? What if she definitely she beats Bailey? Um, and also, just to put this out there, um, since they did mention um, some names, there's going to be a match next week for Green. She's not out of the mix either. I just want to say something though. Clash at the Castle is next week. They haven't even really built their uh, their roster up like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen. I know Naomi didn't like they mentioned her name in the ring, and now she's gonna be fighting against Green, which is great because if she's fighting against Green and she beats the hell out of Green, chances of her interrupting the match against Bailey and Niven will be slim to none. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Kevin Owens and the Street Profits versus the Bloodline with Paul Heyman. All right, so here's my thing. Um, and wait, before we get there, Logan Paul did answer LA Knight's challenge with comedy because he was actually competing in the Tetris challenge. So chances you might see Logan Paul, he might not have to go to his house after all, because you know LA Knight likes making house calls. We know that. But then let's get back to the main event: Street Profits and KO versus the Bloodline. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is pretty much an even match. Kevin Owens, the prize fighter. Solo Sikoa, the street fighter. Street Profits, the strength and the speed. The only difference, the Bloodline absorbs all of your energy and then come back. It's like you didn't even hit them. They come back harder than they were before, which tires you out. If you're putting on absorbing, you're putting all your energy into beating the hell out of somebody and they just absorb it and then bounce back like you ain't did nothing, it's gonna tire you out eventually. And that's the defense of the Bloodline, which I give him that. But KO is the same way. So Solo got his match made for him. But guess what? They got the win. They got the win. Because at the end, guess what? Not only did Solo use Roman Reigns' move to finish the match, the spear, they threw Kevin Owens through a table, steel, shield style. They threw him through the table, shield style. And they beat the hell out of the Street Profits. That's what they get for interfering in the match. But they did defend, their boy, so they did defend Bobby Lashley. So I understand where they're coming from. But they caught a hell of a beatdown at the end of it. This is a good match. But again, this back and forth, it's time for a change. And I'm going to just throw a prediction out there of what I think is going to happen with the Bloodline. You're going to see it on the other show, because I got a special show that's going to be airing on today, right before NXT's Battleground. It's a prediction show that me and my brothers did. So on there, I made a statement, and this statement I'm going to make right here. And it's not even a statement, it's a thought. Something that makes you think. What if, because we haven't seen Jacob Fatu yet, what if Jimmy Uso comes back with Jacob Fatu? Remember, he's been out for a while since they destroyed him. And what if this becomes a civil war with Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso versus Solo Sikoa's Bloodline? But yet we still don't know who's leading this, because the damn sure ain't Paul Heyman. Who is the real tribal chief running things? Whoever he is, he need to come out quick, because Solo is doing a terrible job right now. Anyway, that's all I got for SmackDown. That ends the show, and that ends this show. And I'll see y'all again next week. But stay tuned. We got 2 shows that's coming this weekend. That's right. We're going to do our AEW recap, as well as the special presentation for NXT's Battleground with my brothers and our predictions for that show. And we're going to talk a little bit about SmackDown and Raw on there as well. So I like to get other people's opinions, especially my brothers, because they're funny. But anyway, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. and I'll see you again next week.